we learn anything,
Those are the extreme there. Can you hear me very well and loud?
Are you with me? So
that young man at the pole, can you hear me? Just wave at me if you can hear me. All right.
Or a risk.
The last person at the back, can you hear me?
That you have
very well. Just wave at me if you can hear me.
Good. Is the fear of falling
the last
down.
person at the other edge, down up there. Can you hear me loud and clear?
If you stand
can
in
I?
front of a new
Can I talk?
And you do your face.
I can't hear your voice. So. All right. Thank you very much. Let me just go straight.
Where did you move from Calabar here?
Heaven will pray for us. So don't let me make it a proper seminar.
What will the baby do?
I want it to be a raw kind of discussion. So I don't want
what is wrong with this one?
To play around. So let's just
you think I'm afraid of you?
At it
Look
straight.
at you are making a caricature of yourself.
I will start by telling you a
Just
story.
keep smiling. So also if you bring
someone once told me that I should think through, because those of us who are seated here today,
the baby will not
we are either intending to be an entrepreneur, or we just enter the club, or we've been in this circle for quite a while, the space of entrepreneurship for a while. And two things might be happening. You're doing well, or you're still finding it tough to break through. There is nothing like an expired entrepreneur. There is nothing like a retired entrepreneur. If you're looking for retirement, don't stay here. Retirement, go to the other classes. You know why? They work for people, and so they get retired. And when they don't even want to retire, there are laws that have been promulgated and developed to set them out. Am I right? They would say after 30 years, oh yeah, go, let others come in. But I'm speaking to people that are going to be employers of labor, economy drivers for the rest of their life. Even at 100 years, they are still looking for them as thought leaders in this field of entrepreneurship. So am I in the right camp? If you don't belong here, please go out. Thank you very much. A friend once told me a story, and he asked us to think about it together. And the story is this. He said, have you discovered, whatever I say is out of a thinking process, because that is the greatest asset of an entrepreneur, is thinking ability. Those who they think for, they are not entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs are thinkers and they are creators. And so he said to me, think about it. There was a time it was documented that God would create. But in the recent times, he said to me, he said, don't you think that God had decided to look at few of his creatures and he has committed into their hands and given them creative ability to allow him rest and attend to other issues? Am I talking to somebody? He said that to me, that my thinking process, I decided to open it up, and I said to myself, that's true. In any facets of life, after God has succeeded in replicating himself in humans. They are very few. They are not many. As I'm talking to you now, I can pray and say all of us will become entrepreneurs. But I know the kind of fibers and what connects some of us in terms of our make. Some of us don't have the strength to stay long on certain things. And so I decided to think through and said, I want to be in the camp of God, the creators. There are some who don't have the qualities that a creator has. So God has also given them some support roles. Those are support services people. But standing before you here, it's someone who craves, who longs to be a creator in his own little way, not competing with the Almighty really, but in every adventure of life, in everything he sets his heart and mind to do, he wants to think through and produce something that others have not done. After this discussion, I want you to leave the space of an entrepreneur. It's too congested in the recent times. So many people, Tom, Dick, and Harry, today will say, I'm an entrepreneur. 2000, when this thought started, 19 years ago, the space was still light. But now, the space is getting congested. People who are fresh graduates, who long to work like those are downstairs, they didn't get that job. You just automatically knock the door of entrepreneurs and say, I'm an entrepreneur.
People will feel it.
Am I talking to somebody? I'm not going to talk regular. If you know, have a deep thought and you have a very strong reception, you will catch it, what I'm talking to you about. So they opened the gate for them. They just came in. You made this one on the road. I'm an entrepreneur. You can't find substance. You can't define it. Am I communicating? So I just thought of it recently. We need to create another camp. And I call this camp the camp called the trailblazers. There is a difference between an entrepreneur and a trailblazer. An entrepreneur today, in our own definition, is everybody.
And guess what that is?
Jobless.
It's those who can.
People who are in business who are not doing well. People who are doing well. Everybody is an entrepreneur.
The person is performance.
But a trailblazer is an innovator, a creator. A trailblazer is a pace setter, is a ground setter, a pace. Let me use another word so that you'll understand. It's a ground breaker. It provides and finds parts in an uncharted course. Whatever product or services it renders, hardly do you see anyone who have told that part before, because it's scary. It's an uncharted course, so he will be scared. But only the courageous one. So I'm going to graduate you personally. It's my concept. When I leave here, I'm going to go out of this class with trailblazers. You are going to begin to innovate. You are going to begin to think. Who is an entrepreneur? An entrepreneur does three things. It creates new businesses. It takes risk. It's a risk taker. And the last one, he enjoys the rewards. And whatever is the outcome of that process, he enjoys it. The bulk of the enjoyment comes to him. For those of you who have once worked with entrepreneurs, and you are not patient, and you are not thoughtful, you didn't know the sacrifices an entrepreneur makes to break his ground. And every money paid into that company, when he has arrived, he has suffered once. There was a time he couldn't make ends meet. There was a time he has to borrow money from the bank. There was a time he has to lean on friends and family to source for funding. You were not there when he was absolutely a sole proprietor. You were not there. At a time when his business began to stabilize, he called your attention to join him. And the very first thing you did was to begin to spy into his largesse and what is coming into him now when things are a bit all right. Listen, that man that is enjoying the rewards of entrepreneurship today, he once went through a very difficult task of creating his business out of nothing. And he bore a lot of risk. And so I'm communicating now. If you are not a passionate person, you cannot be an entrepreneur. If you are not an innovative person, listen everybody. You might be any age. I don't know what your age is. If you are someone that you don't have a healthy thinking process, you can't be an entrepreneur. An entrepreneur is someone who thinks out of nothing and thinks through a difficult process. An entrepreneur thinking process can hijack him at any point. For me, it can hijack me while I'm sleeping. It's always an unfinished task in the heart and mind of an entrepreneur. He goes through that. Sometimes it's driving, it's thinking. It's dangerous, be careful. Sometimes it's under a shower in the morning, taking his bath, and the ideas are coming. And the ideas are coming. He doesn't discard ideas. He keeps them in a pool. And they begin to turn them around, turn them around, turn them around. Some years ago, this little boy standing before you had a strong passion that he wants to create something. He wants to do business in a different way, and he wants to do a business that no one has done. And if he is going to do any other business that anyone has done, he wants to improve on it and do it better. And so I had that mindset. And I started the journey. Now listen, an entrepreneur must go through the basics. You can't stay out of school and you want to be a successful entrepreneur. I went through school. All the rigors. You can't be an half-baked graduate except, listen, there are some people that will be challenging me here. Look, I'm not in your class. I'm from a wealthy home. There is billions in our account. I didn't even go to school. I'm an SSC holder, but I rule the world. You are not an entrepreneur. You make money at home. You are not the one I'm talking to. I'm talking to people like us that were picked from the dunghill, that has nothing. That's an entrepreneur. And you watch out for so many people who are in that category. They make money at home, industries by father and mother. They don't even know how it came in. They mismanage things. But for the wise ones among them, they went through some hard upgrading, trying to update themselves and learn. I congratulate you. If you have gone through the basics, you will keep that family business going. But if you don't, forget it. Within a short time, you will lose it. But for those who are picked from the dunghill, the less privileged, those that you don't even know where your dinner or your lunch will come from, that to get a naira, it's a difficult, and I'm talking to someone now, forget about it. Standing before you is a testimony of how God can take one from the dunghill and place them among kings. And I know at the end of the day, your story will be like that. So go through the basics. It's very important. Go through the basics. Be soundly educated. Look, education, there is no alternative to it. It is something needed by an entrepreneur all through life, so that any circle it gets to, it can play the game well. It won't feel intimidated. It won't feel insecure. It won't feel shy. Education gives you a lot of confidence. And so I had that, and then I finished. That mindset reminded me again, oh boy, this is what you said you want to be. So when I finished, I was looking for a job. Less than 3 years, less than 3 months, I got a job. Very low job. Entrepreneurs, I say it in many gatherings, I love the word of God. The Bible says, despise not the days of your little beginnings. An entrepreneur will go through the woods. He wouldn't mind. So I got a job, very little pay of 15,000 naira, but I had a dream to be an employer of labor someday. So I kept on like that. The story started. At a point after 3 months, I looked up, I said, this job must come. I don't know how it's going to come, but I need something that will give me a leap. I'm speaking to entrepreneurs here who in the recent times, you have cultivated the habit of leaning on people. You have become a nuisance to people to raise money. The world we live in now is not like the world of yesterday, where there are free money for entrepreneurs to feed on. Look, there is no money again. So the task before you now is to create and as well think of how to raise money without being a nuisance to anyone. I hope I'm communicating with you. Take advantage of what, don't be a nuisance to anyone. Think of which business you can do that you can lean less on people, but you will need people. It depends on the level of business, the service, product. You need people along the way. I will come to that, how you get to know people. Now, I moved on. At a point in my career, I got an advert. I applied for the job I was given. And then after the whole exercise of about 9 months, I was the best in the training. They exposed me to foreign places and all that. And then I started my career. I entered the company. I said to myself, 5 years, I need to get whatever I want so I can start my private business. So I talk to you now. Entrepreneurs, intending entrepreneurs, go and work a bit. Go and look for money a bit that you can save, that will now be like your seed to start your business. It's better than being a nuisance in the society. I tried it. You have a brother, my daddy's brother is the general manager of oil, Total. When I finish, I go to you, will give me 500,000. You'll be surprised. He won't give you money to take transport. Has it happened to you before? You'll be surprised. He will not even offer you Coca-Cola. So when I got to know that early, I went to do a job. So 5 years in the company, I worked very hard. You can't be an entrepreneur and you won't do your initial job well. That was where I hit the first million in hard work and selling one of the most difficult products that anyone can sell. I sell automobiles. I don't sell used automobiles. I sell brand new automobile. That's the company I was working for. And the minimum amount for each of those products before the Forex challenge we have in Nigeria was about 3.4 million. After the Forex problem under Buhari's government, each of those small cars go as far as 8.5 million. So the next thing an entrepreneur will do is to identify his market. When I got into that company, the first thing I said is, where will I get someone to give me a check of 10 million, 8 million? In the environment where I am, no. If I tell you where I came from, you will know that they can't give me a check of 100,000 without asking questions. The richest businessman in that area cannot sign a check of 1 million for me without calling me back and saying, am I talking to someone? So I have to identify my market. Who are my audience? Immediately, I joined associations, clubs, institutes, where I can find those who can part with the kind of money that can buy my product. That's the first phase. So I did two things.
Please let's take note in all our classes. We have about 20 more minutes.
Myself to meet the challenge.
We have just 20 more minutes in all the classes, please.
Background
Thank you.
where packaging is low. I grew up in a setting, both academics and spiritual, that we pay less attention to look and appearance. So it became a problem for me. So I have to overcome all this and said, dare to be a Daniel, dare to stand alone, dare to have a purpose firm, dare to make it known. Since the day I made up my mind to be an entrepreneur, I don't look at anybody on the road. I run alone. Because many people will distract you. Even the people you respect most, they will even say words that will dampen you. So when I start running, I don't listen to you. So I keep moving on. And that assisted me. I joined this association with hard-earned money. You pay heavily for it. And I challenge you, you have to join. You pay for it. Some of my colleagues who are buying this, buying that, I was paying heavily to register in those institutes. Change my wares. Change everything. Change my ethics. Change my etiquettes and public, activities and all that. And I started joining those who matter in the society. I looked like a stranger among them, but I was an entrepreneur. I was looking for something. So I started socializing with them. We'll go for functions. Listen, they are not unhealthy associations. They are not unhealthy. They are professional institutes. They are international institutes. Nigerian British Chamber of Commerce, where successful businesses and businessmen in the British companies meet with their Nigerian counterparts. Is that a sinful association? They come to discuss business and things of mutual understanding and how to transact businesses. I did beautiful, nice, captivating, complimentary cards. So I started relating with them. They look at me as a young man. Character is destiny. I was very humble. In fact, there is some kind of humility that you have to apply yourself that is not even given to you. You have to humble yourself. The Bible said it so. Is that not? When I see those chairmen of companies, I read them on the pages of the newspaper before then. But as an entrepreneur looking for relevance and looking to succeed, this whole discussion we are doing today is about building relationships. Because that is the crux of what you need here. Some of you are very intelligent. You don't need much about theory of who an entrepreneur should be. You are doing well. I've interacted with some of you. You are sound. Some of you are first class, second class, upper graduate. So you don't need much of definition of entrepreneur, types of entrepreneur. You've learned that in the business world when you were in school. But I'm talking of the reality out there. Building relationships, going to people that can turn your life around. People that can change your destiny within a second by you having an encounter with them. People I read in the newspaper, board chairman Nestle PLC, board chairman this great company. I will get into their midst with my shining suit. I selected them appropriately. Then you sharpen this mouth. Sharpen it. Entrepreneur, you must be good. The erudition must be sound. You must be coordinated and coherent. You must not be somehow. If you talk, people must listen to you. And you humble yourself. So I will get to their midst. And we'll go for cocktail. So many things change. Some of the things you see in the other side, the worldview changed. You go for cocktail. You meet the U.S. ambassador to Nigeria. You meet the British ambassador. And you know what I'm saying? You toast. And say, how are you? How do you do? I say, I'm good. I'm fine. So where do you work? I bring out my card. I keep him thinking, woo, this product. They will engage me on what I do. An entrepreneur must have a sound product knowledge of what he's selling. They engage me and I engage them. Confidence, look straight into their eyes. I'm selective. For the white guys, you look straight into their eyes. For the people of your age, you talk confidently. For those who are elderly, because of the society we belong, where people pay too much premium on respect and honor, you forget your suit and you say, Daddy Ekpelesa. And the next thing you will hear is Omoluabi, Omoluabi, Pele, Omoluabi. And they will bring you. And you can't look straight into their eyes. Some of them are bored gurus, great scholars. And then suddenly, when you start interacting with them in those places, they make you a song. They mentor you. And then they tell you, how are you? I say, I'm fine. I have a program in London. I'm having a party, a wedding party for my son. And you start thinking, where will I get the money to go? Will you be available? Say, I will be available. Forget my shining suit. I don't have that kind of money then. And so before I know anything, I'll say, oh, I have a jet. Follow us. Opportunities locate entrepreneurs in certain places, not in all places. Not in all places. A poor boy entering a jet is unthinkable. When they ask me to sit down in the jet, I can't even sit down. See, where am I coming from? And suddenly, I was building it. I came out 5 years after. I walked up to the managing director of the company. I said, sir, I'm leaving now. Where? You've added a lot of value to this system. You brought a lot of clients. Sir, I need to go. Go. Keep our ID card. You are still our staff for life, but you can go. Represent us anywhere. Since 2000 till now, I'm still representing the company. They gave me dealership. I got their dealership. I know that we are selling this. And I said, for the business I am starting, my business will be exclusively for the rich. This car, I buy from my employer. I'm not going to sell it directly, completely as it is, to the end user. I'm going to make it more executive for them. Everything around me since then became executive. Services rendered, executive. Name of the company, executive. My brand, executive. I am humble, I can relate with others, but where I get the money to be good to others is from the executives. When you say, I want to buy a car, what car? I say, I want to buy this car. I will give them the number of our salespeople. Talk to them. I don't do it. My service is to top-placed people. It's a tough one. I armored their cars. You know, rich people want to be saved. I take those cars, I armor them. and give it to them. They pay heavily for it. The company take little profit. I take the mega profit. When that was going on, because of the spirit I told you of creativity in the heart of an entrepreneur, you must not stay on one business. You must have streams of income, because there are undulating times, ups and downs. There is a time that one business, you won't find a single income. And so I was in Coventry University in England. I just felt, let me just go and relax. An entrepreneur only relax in the body, is thinking process, his heart is running. I attended the conference day one. I came out to have a tea break, and then I looked at a vacuum. I looked at a lacuna. I looked at a space that no one has filled in Nigeria in the area of training. And I said to myself, I want to train top executives in the Nigerian tertiary institution. When I said it to myself, the small me inside me said to me, executives in what? Are you a professor? You are going to a terrain that are meant for scholars. What do you know? Shut up your mouth. An entrepreneur is speaking. He doesn't care. Now go here. You know the here come. How many of you are in the same spirit? Now go you here. Me, I know the here come. Oh. If you give me instruction once, you have made a mistake. I won't look back to change it. I run. And so I make up my mind. And I just called a prof, a woman prof. I said, ma'am, I shared it with her. He said, let's run it together. I will go back to Nigeria. I would design topics, training topics, targeted at this sector. You know those I want to train? I want to train vice chancellors. I want to train rectors of Nigerian polytechnics. I want to train provosts of Nigerian colleges of education. Rat, me, small rat. It was a big dream. When I came back, I shared it with people. Be careful of who you share your dream with. They said, look at you. Arrogant people, they will never follow you. They will ask of who you. I said, don't worry. I went somewhere. I hid myself for 2 days, 48 hours. I will never forget. I was thinking through, researching, finding out what kind of captivating topic can I throw out that will sweep the whole of Nigerian institution at once. And I got it. I came out. I called the printer. Do this for me. Put this price. Do it in dollars. I'm an executive. I don't deal in naira. So I said it to myself. So I denominated it in dollars. Open a DOM account. I don't know what a DOM account is. I went to the bank. My account officer said, yeah, there's DOM account. He opened it. I said, dollar must enter this one. So I started. I threw it around. Went to the Guardian. They placed an advert. And then they spread it all around the town. Everybody kept asking, who is behind this? I hid myself so that they wouldn't know it's a rat that is behind it. And it was going to happen in Oxford, in England. I went there, flew there, made the reservation of an all, got facilitators, sound facilitators from Oxford. And then suddenly, one day, alert dropped on my phone. Bam! I said, it worked. Another institution, about 4 or 5 people paid. Bam! I took to England over 28 professors. Over 28. I hid myself. We got on board British Airways. I told my wife, don't tell them this is the rat. Keep quiet. I hid myself. We flew in. We lodged in the hotel. They were looking at me and my wife as one of the staff of the big man that is going to open the conference. And on the day of the conference, all the facilitators came and they said, we will now invite the convener of this gathering
Hello.
to come and talk to us.
Please let's start rounding off in all the classes. We have just about 5 more minutes. Please, we have just 5 minutes across all classes so that we can come back together for the plenary.
Point of no return. They can't collect their money back. I have gone into their books. I have taken their alliterations and the nomenclatures and the words and their registers. Am I communicating? So I was rolling it out in the speech, rolling it out. They were impressed, and suddenly there was a standing ovation for me. I said, well, I catch you. That was the birth of the second company, and the third, and the fourth, and the fifth. And it gets to a point, you now begin to do everything. In that circle, people call you for. In fact, they will tell you of things you don't know and say, I want you to do something. I need to give you a project. Go and think about it. If you can't get solution, find consultant to join you. That's the level of confidence people now have in you. To round up, let me remind you again. I've told you who an entrepreneur is. And I told you I don't want you to be an entrepreneur. I want you to be a trailblazer. Now, I've also, within this short time, I've discussed with you how you can turn your ideas into reality. And one of the things that assisted me, I want to share with you, is immediate, prompt implementation of ideas. When they come, don't let it rest. I have one Christian mother. She's old now.
Please, let's start rounding off in all the classes, please.
She would tell me,
let's start rounding off in all the classes so that I can come down for the plenary, please.
Many ideas are there.
Thank you.
I used to write it since 1970 something. None of them came into reality. Your story will not be like that. Immediately they come in me, fire. It burns in you. My wife will say, sweetheart, sleep now. It's already after 2. I look at her. You don't understand. What you understand is credit my account. You don't understand how the money comes. Those who rule the world, they don't sleep. They don't sleep. When you are awake, they are sleeping. And their sleep is short. When you are asleep, they are awake. Major decisions about Nigeria are taken in the midnight when you are sleeping. When you come in the morning, they only give you public address. They give you national broadcast. Everything has been decided in the dark. Wake up, young brothers and sisters. I don't want to pamper you. I don't want to talk to you about these. Mine is just to give you the nuggets and let you know you can do it. Whatever you are doing now that is slow, that you are thinking, don't give up. But listen, if you know you have been trying it, you've listened to a lot of words on an entrepreneur, it doesn't work. And you have listened to me now, it doesn't work. Like a comedian said, if I, the most funny comedian in the world, cannot make you laugh, then your case is a terrible case. And so I am also saying to you, if after you listen to me today, you still, after now you go out and you lay your hands on entrepreneurship and your business you do, you're still not moving forward, quickly go and look for a job. Go and look for your certificate. That means you are not meant here. There are some people that are on support service. I have friends who work in very notable companies. In fact, when the entrepreneurs run into an itch, they borrow them money. They are not successful entrepreneurs. They can't even do it. They will retire in a paid job and they will do well. In fact, I know of a friend who said to
we
me
have
that
2 more minutes
has been collecting
across all classes,
his
please.
retirement package.
2 more minutes.
They paid some retired staff in some company.
Thank you.
The salary a general manager is receiving that is in active service. So please, if you know you are not cut for this, just look for a job. But if you know you are cut for it, your thinking process, clean it up, make it healthy, building relationships. That is what I've done in the last 19 years. Building relationships. And let me tell you this. Let me say this before I stop. We're in a system where you have a lot of people who speak to us to encourage us. But when they go off where they speak to us, they dampen our spirits by not encouraging us to move forward. They will tell you that it's risky out there. It's risky out there. It's risky out there. From now, tell them, sir, it is only those who take risk that will make it. Just pray along with me as I go on this course. There are some times the timing of those successful encounters that will take your business to the next level may collide with the time of your YPF meeting. Politely tell your leaders that, sir, I won't be able to come for today's meeting because of something very important. By the grace of God, I will come for the next meeting. Some people will not do that. They will say, no, it's a spiritual call. That appointment with Dangote, I will knock it off. I will go to YPF. When you run into trouble, life become meaningless to you. You look right, you look left. You won't find those people that are hindering you. Take risk. Close your eyes, entrepreneurs. When I have appointments that matters, I go. Because when I get the returns, where will I take it to? Church of Satan? I will bring it back here. I will touch lives with it. And in those people that tells you, don't go there, don't go to that place, they will be the one that will say, that is our son. That is our son. Am I communicating to you? Are you getting another thing I'm talking about? Entrepreneurs, don't listen to anybody. Reduce the mentors you have. That's another problem you have. This one will talk, this one will talk. Conflicting messages. Why do you need a mentor when you are a creator? Why do you need one? Why can't just keep them up? Look, somebody, I brought him on board. Come and train people for me. Just come and help. Come and train. Every time he comes to my training program, he will call me aside for 10 minutes and say, I want to counsel you on how to do this thing better. I say, go and do your own. He doesn't have one. He's counseling somebody who is doing it. There are people like that. I don't know whether I'm talking to you. Build relationships, part with relationships that will never help you. Those are the killers of successful entrepreneurs. And for money, I started business without money. But some of us need to start business with money. So I begged you, go and work to get it. But if you are not working, if you have people that can give you money, a lot of funds are available now. But start it first. Do something. Let's see. When you start something, people will be encouraged to put their money down. People don't want to play with their money. And if your business is still, not moving fine and all that, then you can discuss. For now, we can inject life into some of those businesses. Entrepreneur, a trailblazer, turning your dream into reality. Immediate, instant, prompt implementations of those.
Please, let's start coming together, please.
Building relationships. And lastly, I want to challenge you that let your business make impacts, and you need to keep relevant. For those of you who are in business, another fear you are.
Let's start coming together so that we can commence the plenary, please.
I don't want to build a business that will die with me. Children are lining up to take it over. How do you keep your business relevant? Increase your visibility. Relate with those who matter. Identify with the market where your product is appreciated. Get involved in those associations. Our board member to some of those associations, they will locate you easily. They will help you easily. So you need to keep that business relevant. Don't let it stop on you. Don't build businesses sometimes around you. Try and share with those that you can hand it over to by the time you leave. I hope as we're able to put all this together, I'm sure our businesses will be better. And for those who I'm sending forth from here, from this place to go downstairs, I'm not sending you forth again. You are here with us. We are all trailblazers and we'll go places. Thank you very much.
One, two.